Students in Teachers College all around Ontario will write a mandatory math test this year in order to graduate and be certified by the OCT. As a math major, I am not worried about being certified by the OCT. In my year, there are only 4 other students who actually plan on teaching math in high school, but there are 200 other students who are not so secure. I know I will be fine and will pass the test. I was excited and even looking forward to writing the test because I knew I would pass it. I supported the test because it would ensure that elementary teachers have some sort of base knowledge of math. Just like phys ed majors believe in the importance of GPA, math majors believe that students should have someone who knows what they're talking about teaching them. Now, this obviously applies to all subjects. Students deserve an expert, or as close to one as possible, in each field they learn about. However, math seems to be the subject lacking most. Most teachers, my peers included, have a negative attitude towards mathematics, and they pass that on to their students. As a result, there is a large majority of students who dislike math. Originally, I believed that this test would weed out those that would have led to students hating math. I wanted this to help lessen the amount of graduates and increase the amount of good teacher candidates for competition in the job field. Students should not have a teacher that does not know what they are doing. I was glad to hear about the installation of this math test, but I cannot agree with the content of this test. The Mathematics Proficiency Test will be developed by the Education Quality and Accountability Office. It is administered by Ontario Faculties of Education, comprised of multiple choice questions, and focuses on math content knowledge and math pedagogy drawn from concepts taught in both the elementary and secondary grades. Do not support the test's range of math concept. In the email sent to us by our institution, the test will test teacher candidates on concepts all the way up to grade 11. This is unfair to primary, junior, and junior intermediate teacher candidates because they will likely never see themselves teaching in a high school setting. It does not add up as to why OCT would need to test us on anything past grade 8. In general, high school subjects are taught by those with a strong background in the subject. This test is especially unfair to PJ teacher candidates who definitely should not worry about knowing high school math content. They will likely never find themselves in a high school classroom. Most teacher candidates have not taken a math class in at least 5 or 6 years, so they are not confident in their abilities. I hope that the test boosts confidence in those teachers, but I cannot see any reason as to why they have to know high school math when they are only qualified to teach up to grade 6. I can imagine the frustration and the teacher candidates are feeling. Should teachers be required to know about slope and rise over run? Should the government be spending money on this test instead of finding other avenues where the money could be better spent? Should the test only go up to grade 8? Should the test have been implemented in the first place? Who is the test designed to help in the end? There is a petition going around because the majority of teacher candidates are not happy about this test. They are questioning the amount of resources that will be dumped into creating and distributing and marking this test. The petition has been signed by over 500 people who support those who do not support the test. This test relates directly to diversity and inclusion because it will very likely lead to many qualified teachers to be uncertified because they do not score high enough on the mandatory test. Again, I do believe that this test will keep those unqualified out of the teaching profession. However, there are some students that will be left out simply because they do not know enough about math. This test does not allow for diverse graduates from Teachers College. It ensures that all students know math that doesn't even relate to the students that they will be teaching. Teachers do not need to know math past grade 8. If anything, they should be taught how to better bring mathematics into the classroom and how to make math meaningful for their students. Instead of writing a multiple choice test, we should be taught properly how to get students invested in the math they are learning. We should be taught well enough so that we do have the confidence in math and can pass that along to our own students. Instead, we must write a test that allegedly will tell the OCT that we like math and are confident in it. This test should not scare my peers the way that it is. Numerous students are now worried about whether or not they will graduate because they are not confident in their abilities. Every teacher candidate should be taught to love math and to be confident in their own abilities in order to inspire future generations in math. Most elementary school teachers are more confident with their creative abilities and tend towards English and the arts. This test in no way bolsters the logical thinking that is needed to teach math. I cannot speak to the type of in-class supports that PJ and JI students receive, but I would not be surprised if there was little to no real-world connections being made. Teacher candidates should be taught how to properly teach math. This is supposed to be done in Teachers College, but most math classes are just a review of the content from the curriculum. While this is helpful, it does not do much to improve confidence. If anything, it just shows teachers how much they've forgotten over the years. Obviously, mathematics is not the most important subject, but it is one that students can have easily soured if their teacher does not know what they are doing or approaches math with a negative attitude. Teachers have a major impact on their students' likes and dislikes, and they also influence whether or not their students do well on formal assessments. The mathematics proficiency test is a good idea because it will stop some teachers from being able to teach when they do not have the necessary confidence and ability to teach mathematics. This should inspire teachers to do better to prepare themselves and to grow their own confidence so that they do not need to worry about passing the test. One way that might improve overall opinions about this test is if it was an entry exam into Teachers College. This way, we won't have to spend 2 years at school just to fail out because of one test. If it was an entrance exam, then you would know right away whether or not you got in. The rest is up to grades and performance. Hopefully, this test produces more well-rounded teachers who are better equipped for every subject they teach. However, I'm still very skeptical about the positive outcomes that the OCT and the government are hoping for. I want all teacher candidates to be successful and confident when teaching math. I am just not confident that this test is going to produce such outcomes.